Continuing with our presentation on Toyota Motor Philippines' entry into the hybrid electric vehicle industry, here once again is my dad, Mr. Butch Gamboa, as we get more insights from Attorney Rimal Gutierrez, TMP's first Vice President for Corporate Affairs.
I have here now no less than the first Vice President of Toyota Motor Philippines for Corporate Affairs Group. He's Attorney Rimal Gutierrez.
Thank you, Butch.
Let me congratulate you and Toyota Motor Philippines for your very successful launch of the all-new Corolla Altis with hybrid technology.
Thank you, Butch. We also would like to thank the media for joining us in the launching of that beautiful model.
Any motoring journalist worth his salt will not miss this milestone. This is a big step towards creating more awareness about electric vehicles.
Yes.
Although the Altis is not a purely electric vehicle, it still offers an alternative to the sole use of fossil fuels.
Actually, Butch, before we go into pure electric, we have to transition. That's why Toyota looks at it as a transition to future pure electric. We have to first go into hybrid. Yeah, that's the main purpose.
You know, this is indeed, as I mentioned earlier, a big step for the industry.
Yes.
Although I still hear some pessimists in the industry or among its observers doubting the future of electric vehicles. Although there are so many studies saying that that is really the future and it could really help the world a lot if we shift to electric vehicles. And I guess their pessimism is based on, and maybe you can be here to confirm or lay some doubts about their thinking. They say that they feel the success of shifting to electric vehicles lies mainly on how the government views it. If there will be no significant incentives, not only for the industry, but for the people who use electric vehicles, it can never really make a bold improvement in its use. What can you say to this?
Yeah, that's correct, Butch. Government really plays a big role in the auto industry, being a big contributor to the economy. In fact, the auto industry has always been treating the government as a partner in promoting the industry, in coming up with appropriate regulations that will nurture the industry. So it's not only in the past, but even as we face the future, government is always to be there. And for Toyota, we have been here for more than 30 years now, and we are really promoting, we really want to enhance the local manufacturing of motor vehicles. So it's a continuous process. Now, as far as electric vehicles concerned, we see that as a goal to be achieved at a future date. But of course, we have to start somewhere. That's why Toyota is bringing in hybrid vehicles as a start towards that goal.
Forgive me, attorney, but it's been several years ago that this awareness for the use of motor vehicles was pushed locally and of course a lot longer internationally or globally. But it seems that it hasn't really taken off. Will I take it that government support for this is wanting?
2 years ago, when the train law was passed, there was already a recognition of the importance of hybrid vehicle with the giving of incentives in the form of excise tax, which is 50% now of the regular excise tax for regular vehicles. So we see that as a good start, and we will continue to work with the government for more, not only fiscal incentives, but even non-fiscal incentives. We have to encourage the use of vehicles that is technologically advanced, like hybrid.
As I mentioned earlier, industry observers or the motoring observers say that the incentives should not only be focused on the industry, but to the users as well.
Yes, correct, yeah. It may not be in the form of fiscal, but non-fiscal, like, parking space, the toll fees, motor vehicle user charge, those things, non-fiscal accessories. That will really help encourage customers to help us promote the technology.
I understand one of the biggest stumbling blocks to the complete success of electric vehicles is the absence of infrastructure.
That's correct, Butch. Especially at the infrastructure that we are referring to are those electric vehicles that needs to be plugged in. Because even pre-use, we have the version of plug-in hybrid. So again, as it is right now, since there's no infrastructure yet, it's not easy to bring in the pre-use plug-in hybrid. That's why we start with hybrid electric vehicle, HEV, which charges by itself while the vehicle runs. No? But we have available products. But again, you mentioned that infrastructure is not yet ready. So that we have to put emphasis also.
In one of my past trips to Japan, mostly during times of Tokyo Motor Show, I saw a sample plug-in station,
Yes.
which looks very simple, though I think it's a lot more complicated than as it simply looks.
Yeah.
There be anything in the long plan of Toyota to possibly engage in providing this infrastructure to the Philippines
Of
on a
course.
partnership basis
Yes.
with government?
Of course, it's a big possibility. I was in Thailand last week. Exactly, Thailand is already introducing the plug-in. We actually visited a school where they pilot test vehicles within the campus using Toyota electric vehicle with the charging station along the streets. So if that can be replicated in the Philippines, it's really a possibility.
Would you recommend to the government that they seriously consider a private partnership, one of the PPP projects, the putting up of this infrastructure for electric vehicles?
Not perhaps in a big scale. We have to start small, maybe a theme park.
Or like UP, probably.
Yes, it's a good start. We have to start small. We have to start somewhere.
Or in willing villages.
Yes, and then replicate it later on.
Attorney Rimal, thank you very much.
Thank you, Butch. It's an honor to be interviewed by.
I feel privileged
Yes.
to have this chance
Thank you.
for allowing me.
Thank you, Butch. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.